to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
Well, there's a lot of people moving around right now.
Yep.
A lot of people moving out of California.
Yep.
That I've heard the most of. I know there's some people moving out of New York as well. I mean,
Detroit.
that's why we moved out of New York in 2014.
Sure.
Part of the reason was taxes.
Yep.
And but just recently, in the last couple of months, I mean, there's so many people moving out of California.
Yeah. I think, and we're leaving cities. I mean, we're just leaving the middle of cities and going to suburbia as Americans. I think that's happening.
So that I'm not hearing as much about.
We had a huge infill, and then the cities got, to be honest, a lot of problems of things that are going on with the things that have happened in 2020, whether it's the pandemic or it's a lot of the animosity toward each other. I think are happening inside cities, and it just kind of perpetuates that. Everybody's on top of each other.
Yeah,
there was a big infill move in Nashville, and if you watch the real estate market, it's now people are starting to move out Spring Hill and
really
suburbs. Yeah.
What do you think that means for cities, the future of cities and downtowns and so forth? Is there always going to be a place, and there are always going to be, enough of people moving in to exchange for the people moving out, or are we going to see something a little different here?
Man, I wish I was a soothsayer to know that. I would have bought a lot of land, in different areas and different times. But I mean, if you look at Route 66, it's dead now, and I think things change. So I don't know if the cities are going to go away or if they're just going to retool themselves. I don't have a real good vision of that. No.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, though, like that juxtaposition of a more liberal city and a more conservative state. So we kind of still need the cities. I mean, we're going to still have the cities. Obviously, they have their place and they're not going anywhere. But I like a city, to be honest with you. Like one of my favorite things is with my wife Marianne to go somewhere for a 3 or 4 day weekend and explore a new city, like Chicago or New York. I much prefer New York over Chicago. Or what? Now it's also great to go out though to some place in Colorado, to some mountainside out there. I mean, that's like each to the it has its place.
Yep.
I just don't want the cities to go anywhere because there's a certain buzz, a certain energy, a certain. Oh man, just like the synergy you get in like New York City, like that. I mean, it's like do or die in particularly New York, which I know it's different than Nashville, but there's just a buzz to cities that I really like.
I'll never forget my first time landing in New York. Yeah, it was my senior year in high school, and we did 8 plays in 7 days, and it was kind of a tour, and there was an energy I never felt. It was like a drug. And I love it. I love going to New York. I was in the jingle business for about 25, 30 years, and wrote and produced music for radio and TV, and went to agencies up there a bunch, and very blessed to know a lot of really great folks. But there was a creative energy. There was an angst about it. There was a great mixture of give and take.
Yes.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yes, exactly. Well, we had a lady on the podcast last week. Her name was Candace Bruder. She owns Pure Sweat Sauna in 12 South and Pure Sweat Float Studio in Belmead, and now she's starting a franchise. It's all about sauna and float and everything.
Cool.
And she moved here from New York City. I can't remember. I don't think she grew up in New York City, but she'd been there for years. And she moved to Nashville about 5 years ago. And, her comment in New York City was, it's basically the best and the brightest and the smartest and the fastest and the most aggressive and everything. And we were kind of half joking around about the fact that most presidents, when they come in and come out of a 4-year term or certainly an 8-year term, I mean, they look like they aged 20 years. Trump looks like he hasn't aged a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And her, which I never thought of this, but her comment was, well, yeah, it's not surprising because he spent so much time in New York. If you can make it in New York, you can make it in D.C.
That's right. That's exactly right.